The story of India and Pakistan begins with a painful separation, a division that forever changed the course of history for millions. In 1947, British rule ended, and the subcontinent was divided into India and Pakistan. This monumental event was meant to be a new beginning, but it came at an unimaginable cost. Partition was supposed to ease tensions, but instead, it triggered chaos and violence. The streets were filled with fear and uncertainty, as communities that had lived together for centuries were torn apart. Millions became homeless overnight, forced to leave their homes as new borders cut through communities. Families were separated, and lives were disrupted in ways that are hard to describe. The violence was staggering. Trains were attacked, villages were burned, and up to 2 million people died. The scale of human suffering was immense, leaving wounds that would last for generations. This trauma created a legacy of bitterness and distrust that still shapes both nations today. The memories of those dark days are etched into the collective consciousness of the people. The wounds of partition are not just history. They are a living force in every dispute and standoff. The echoes of 1947 can still be heard in ongoing conflicts and tensions. Unresolved issues, especially the fate of princely states like Jammu and Kashmir, set the stage for future conflict. These disputes have become flashpoints of violence and political strife. India and Pakistan were born as rivals, not as neighbors, their relationship scarred from the very beginning. The animosity that began with partition has only deepened over the decades. The jagged edges of partition never healed, leaving a permanent mark on the subcontinent. The legacy of 1947 continues to influence the geopolitics and social fabric of the region. At the very center of the long-standing tension between India and Pakistan lies the beautiful but troubled region of Jammu and Kashmir. It's known for its amazing natural beauty, but it has been living under the shadow of conflict and uncertainty for decades. Back in 1947, when the British left the subcontinent, Kashmir's Hindu ruler faced a sudden attack from Pakistan-backed fighters. In a desperate move, he asked India for military help and formally agreed to join India by signing an instrument of accession. This decision kicked off the first war between the two new countries, starting a bitter rivalry and making Kashmir a key issue that would trouble both nations for generations. India claims Kashmir based on that legal agreement, while Pakistan argues that, as a Muslim-majority area, Kashmir should have naturally become part of Pakistan according to the logic of partition. The United Nations called for a vote, called a plebiscite, to let Kashmiris decide their own future, but that vote never happened. The lack of this promised vote has fueled anger, distrust, and decades of unresolved conflict. For India, keeping Kashmir is seen as proof of its secular ideals and national unity. For Pakistan, it remains a question of justice, identity, and the unfinished business of partition. Today, this region is one of the most heavily militarized places on Earth, with both armies deeply dug in along the line of control, and frequent clashes keeping tensions high. Regular Kashmiris are caught in the crossfire. Their lives are shaped by violence, curfews, and a political deadlock that offers very little hope for change. Ongoing rebellions, military actions, and constant accusations of cross-border support keep the conflict going, making peace seem even further away. For now, Kashmir remains an open wound. Its people long for peace, but are stuck in a conflict that shows no signs of healing. The rivalry between India and Pakistan is one of the oldest and most intense in modern history. Since gaining independence in 1947, these two nations have clashed many times, and their disagreements have often turned into open warfare. Each conflict has left deep scars on both societies, making distrust and hostility even worse, and making reconciliation seem even further away. The First War, fought in 1947-48 over the princely state of Kashmir, ended with the region being divided and a tense ceasefire line watched by the United Nations. This unresolved dispute became the heart of their rivalry. In 1965, both countries tried again to solve the Kashmir issue by force. The war ended in a costly stalemate, with thousands of people dying and no real change on the ground, but the bitterness only grew. In 1971, the conflict changed dramatically when India stepped in to support the Bangladeshi independence movement in East Pakistan. The war led to the creation of Bangladesh, a huge refugee crisis, and a humiliating defeat for Pakistan, which lost its eastern part. Decades later, in 1999, the Kargil War broke out in the high mountains of Kashmir. The Pakistani army took over strategic peaks, forcing India into a fierce and costly battle to get its territory back. The world watched with worry as two nuclear-armed nations came dangerously close to full-scale war. India eventually got the area back, but the threat of nuclear conflict scared people all over the world. Every war has left not only physical destruction, but also generations of trauma, hardened attitudes, and a legacy of distrust that makes compromise even harder. The line of control in Kashmir is a constant reminder of the unresolved conflict, a heavily guarded border that divides families and communities and acts as a constant flashpoint. Today, military standoffs, border fights, and crises have become almost normal, with both sides staying in a constant state of alert and distrust. The legacy of these battles is a rivalry defined by fear, distrust, and the hope, however faint, that one day peace might happen. Besides wars, terrorism has made the relationship between India and Pakistan even worse. India accuses Pakistan of supporting militant groups. This accusation gained global attention after attacks like the 2001 Parliament attack and the 2008 Mumbai siege. Each attack derails peace efforts and makes public opinion even stronger. The Mumbai attacks in particular broke trust and completely stopped diplomatic relations. India demands that Pakistan get rid of terror networks before talks can start again. Pakistan denies supporting these groups and points to its own losses from extremism. Recent attacks in Kashmir have led to military responses and further problems. This cycle of violence and blame makes sure that talking things out is still not possible. When the guns fall silent, India and Pakistan fight with words on the world stage. At the UN, Pakistan brings up Kashmir as a human rights issue. India responds with accusations of cross-border terrorism. Both sides use these platforms to get support at home and shape what the world thinks. Diplomatic ties are often put on hold, trade stops, and cultural exchanges are also shut down. High commissioners are called back, and communication is limited to public accusations. This war of words leaves no room for real talks or handling problems when they come up. Even small incidents can get bigger because there are no good ways to calm things down. Even with moments of hope, peace talks between India and Pakistan keep falling apart. Big moments like the 1999 Lahore Bus Yatra and the 2001 Agra Summit gave people hope. But then, fighting or a stalemate would ruin everything again. Even things that were supposed to bring people closer, like the Samjhauta Express train or the Kartarpur corridor, get stopped as soon as tensions rise. Hardliners and terrorist attacks mess up any talks, making things tense and confrontational again. The main disagreements are so full of strong feelings that leaders can't find a way to agree, even if they want to. Trust is very fragile, and it breaks easily because of violence or political pressure. Peace stays far away, and there's always a risk of another crisis hitting. The path to peace is blocked by history, distrust, and the constant threat of violence. Nowhere is the rivalry between India and Pakistan more obvious than on the cricket field. Cricket matches feel like real battles, where national pride and political pressure are super high. Because there haven't been any two-country series for years, matches in tournaments like the Asia Cup are rare and really important. The 2025 Asia Cup final in Dubai isn't just a game, it's a fight for national honor. Political tension shows up on the field too, with every player's action being seen as having a political meaning. Fans turn the stadium into a place of nationalistic passion, and a win or loss feels like a national victory or a national insult. Cricket is a unique, symbolic way to let out decades of frustration. The pitch is one of the last places where the rivalry is seen, fierce but without bullets. By September 2025, the relationship between India and Pakistan has really chilled out. Talks between them have stopped, and trade and travel are almost completely shut down. Now, they only talk through public accusations on big world stages. India wants action against terrorism before any talks can happen. Pakistan insists that Kashmir must be the main topic of any discussion. Both sides refuse to back down, creating a situation where there's no way forward. Recent military actions and political problems have made the bad feelings even worse. This lack of talking just builds more distrust and makes any crisis much more serious. It looks like both countries are more ready to just manage their conflict than to actually solve it. The future of India-Pakistan relations is still uncertain, stuck in a cycle of conflict and mistrust. Core issues like Kashmir and terrorism are deeply rooted, and neither side is ready to compromise. Nuclear weapons make every crisis potentially very dangerous. The diplomatic freeze, talk of war, and even cricket matches show this deep divide. Domestic politics encourage hardline stances, making talks politically risky. A lack of communication increases the risk of things going wrong by mistake. Real peace will require unprecedented political courage and trust, qualities that are currently missing. For now, the legacy of mistrust is the biggest obstacle to peace, and it doesn't seem to be going away.